Hello, welcome back to Take Fives. We are through to Wednesday and we are looking at the life of David, King David of Israel. And we're moving on to 1 Chronicles chapter 13 today. We've looked at David being appointed king. We did that on Monday. On Tuesday, we saw that David took Jerusalem to be his capital city. And here in 1 Chronicles 13, we have a very interesting incident. David has decided it is time with the people. They've made the decision to bring the Ark of the Covenant back to Jerusalem. Now, the Ark of the Covenant, if you remember back, was all started by Moses. He built the Ark. The people built the Ark under Moses' direction and instruction. And in the wilderness, in the tabernacle, it was to be the dwelling place of God with man. So it was a key part of the Israelites' faith, the Israelite religion, the Jewish religion. And it was the place that God dwelt on earth with man. And he would meet with the high priest in that place. So it was really important as an item, as a piece of furniture in the tabernacle. And at the moment, it is not whether in the place it should be. It is dwelling in the house of Abinadab. And like I said, David decides to move it. So they put it on a cart, and there are a couple of men who guide the cart. One of them is Uzzah, and the other is Ahio. And on the journey, Uzzah reaches out his hand as one of the oxen that's pulling the cart stumbles. And I guess he's thinking, well, the cart may tip, the ark may fall off, and that would be a disaster. And it kind of seems the right thing to do, doesn't it? To reach out and just steady things and make sure there isn't an accident. But God's wrath burns against Uzzah, and he is struck dead on the spot. It says, the Lord's anger burned against Uzzah, this is verse 10, and he struck him down because he put his hand on the ark. So he died there before God. Now, if you're like me, that doesn't seem fair. My sense of fair play just cuts in here and goes, hang on a minute, Uzzah was trying to help. He was only doing what he felt was right. But there is something bigger here at play, and that is the holiness of God. Way back when Moses built the Ark of the Covenant, they were given some very clear instructions about it. And one of the instructions was that they weren't to touch it. There were rings put on its feet so that they could insert poles in it. And then the Levites were to lift the ark off the ground, holding onto the poles. And consequently, they never touched the ark. And that was the reason for that, was because it was a holy item. It was a holy piece of tabernacle furniture, and God's presence was to dwell in it and on it, on the throne above it. And so we have this idea, this concept of holiness and our God being holy. And then when Uzzah reaches out, albeit not knowing, he touches the holiness of God. And of course, human flesh just can't stand the holiness of God. And we get the result that Uzzah dies. Now, it's a tough lesson, but it does make a very clear point. And it's one that we sometimes, I think, forget. And that is that our God is a holy God. He is a God who is set apart and is different. He is a God who is without sin, who is pure, and his holiness is incomparable. And today, for a moment, I want us to just pause and realize that we live our lives moment by moment before a holy God. And to bring our hearts and say, Lord, I am not holy, but you are. And it's only because of Jesus and his cross and resurrection that we can enter the holiness of God and be in his presence. And that is just amazing, amazing grace for us. So let's reflect on God's holiness today. And I'll see you tomorrow to talk a little bit more about David and the ark. Bye for now.